2 years ago, I was telling people to sell their homes, live in an apartment, housing is a bubble and it's about to implode. Not a single person took my advice. At the time, I was finishing construction on a $1.2 million mansion, which to this day has not sold, but did receive an offer of 2/3 of it. Problem was, I was not speaking the language that most people understand. I was using M2 and M3 money supply measures, ratios of owners to renters, interest rate spreads, and the amount of personal loans, or second mortgages they may be called, that were secured by housing, specifically primary residences. What all this meant is that there was no cushion, no backup, no rainy day fund, and little margin for the bankers. Apparently most people still believed in and were relying on the money fairy. I want to bring up and still have an issue with the way the term homeowner is tossed around when speaking of housing. If you have a house and can sell it tomorrow for $1 or bulldoze it all day long with no one having a superior claim to it, then you own it. If you're making a monthly payment, if you don't have a clear title, and you're a home purchaser. So now that we're clear on the term, this will make much more sense. In the late 1980s, it was baseball cards, then it was Beanie Babies, and finally Longaberger baskets. People were hoarding these things like they were life-saving heart pills and a nuclear holocaust was imminent. But as with any commodity, for it to have value, you must have end-user demand. So please tell me, what is the end use for a $200 Longaberger basket? Throw a decorative towel in it so that your fashionable pocket dog has a place to sleep while in your cardboard box that you call home? Common sense says that you pay for your house first. What do you do with all the garbage in it when you get kicked out because you're not the home owner but only a home purchaser who has been busy ridding store shelves of all useless trinkets? I get so sick of hearing people complain about how it's so expensive to live today and how jobs don't pay enough. Are you kidding me? I grew up in the 1970s, so I'm going to use that as comparisons. Except for various oil embargoes, I recall gasoline being around 60 cents to the gallon, cars getting around 20 miles to the gallon. So the cost of gas per mile was 3 cents. So now it's about $1.80 a gallon. Cars are getting around 30 miles to the gallon. So the cost of gasoline is 6 cents a mile. At the same time, the average wage has, I believe, multiplied by more than 4 times. So it's costing, on a comparative scale, half as much to drive. Another thing I recall is going to the movie theater to see a movie. It was a special occasion, something we didn't do more than once a month, for sure. I didn't know anyone who owned their own movie theater. Now I know plenty of people who have their own theaters. Screens are wider than I am tall. And this is people living in homes that they don't own who are behind on the mortgage. How does one rationalize the idea that they should build a movie theater in their home before buying the damn thing? What is the fixation with having 10 pillows on a bed that you can't use to rest your head on? What is the need for some ceramic cover with a floral design on it to go with a box of tissue that has a nearly identical drawing on it already? And who are these people with a fountain running in every room? I stayed the night in a place like that, and I nearly wet myself while I slept. And when I was a child, my grandmother lived in Florida. We would call her occasionally, but kept the conversation short. I believe it cost about 25 cents a minute for long-distance calls back then. I also only had 2 phones in the house because you had to rent those from Indiana Bell. Now I see children running around with their own mobile phones. My mobile phone, when I was young, was usually attached to the side of a gas station and needed a quarter. While on the technology subject, how about photography? You say it costs so much more to live today, but are there people taking thousands of photographs and deleting most of them? When I was a child, we took photos on special occasions. The people who took thousands worked at the Speedway or for a newspaper. Sundays were always a special day growing up. That was the day of the week when we went out for dinner. If we children did something special, then we got to go to McDonald's for lunch occasionally. And now I know people who go out to eat for most of their meals. If you go out to eat more than 3 days a week, then you have a hired cook for your home. That's not buying food. That's what Kroger's and Aldi's are for. They're simply saying, I'm not going to cook, I'll hire someone else to do it. And if you can afford to hire a cook, you sure better be able to pay the mortgage. I don't see any evidence that it costs more to live today. Quite to the contrary, it seems to cost less. So here's my rescue plan for homeowners. Get a grip on your life. Cook your own meals and walk around the kitchen while doing it, and then wash the dishes by hand instead of sitting on your ass waiting for someone else to walk out to your table with your food. You complain that you are overweight and pay for a health club membership that you rarely use, yet you have a riding mower and an electric door opener in your garage. You use food for comfort and shop for scented candles and other various knickknacks to try and feel happy. Your marriage is on the rocks because of financial problems. You're about to get foreclosed on, and you'd probably be divorced if there were any assets left to divide, but no lawyer will help you without upfront cash. You are depressed for those reasons. You eat for comfort, you shop to be happy, you can't pay the mortgage, and you think getting divorced will cure your problems? Shut off your stupid television, cancel cable and the cell phone, quit a job you're about to get laid off anyway, sell a car, stay home and cook. And I don't mean reheat something from the deli. Quit shopping for clothes. Quit going out to the movies. You already bought a home theater, use it. Better yet, sell that too. Sit down with your family and play a board game. Then go pay your mortgage and keep your house. Don't come crying to me about how it isn't fair and it's all the banker's fault. Fair is a place where they sell greasy food, have toothless vagabonds operating thrill rides, and put stinky animals on display. Take responsibility for yourself and your incessant envy and stupid decisions that got you where you are today. Thanks for tuning in and checking back tomorrow. I'm sure I'll find some stupid act to give you the lowdown on me. I don't know why it's called common sense when it seems so difficult to find.